Dear students, today I am going to discuss about the last part of the colloidal solutions, that is and application part of the colloidal solutions. See, in the first, before discussing the application part of the colloidal solutions, see the colloidal phenomena which is around us. First, let us discuss about the colloidal phenomena which is around us. See here, I wrote the points here. See, delta formation. It is not the application. The delta formation is a natural phenomena. These are all the natural phenomena. So, these are the applications. This is a natural phenomena where the colloidal phenomena is involved. Delta formation. See, the delta is the place where the river meets to the sea. See, when the river ultimately meets with the sea. See, river water is a colloidal solution. It is a surface water. It carries a lot of mud along with the water. Due to the suspended mud, it looks like brown. The brown color is due to the colloidal mud. That is nothing but the clay. Clay is associated. Clay carries the negative charge. That is river water is a colloidal solution. There the mud is associated. Mud particles are charged particles. See, whereas when it meets to the river, some sea, the sea water contains a lot of electrolytes, sodium salts and other salts of the different minerals. Higher concentration, sodium salts, calcium salts, magnesium salts, all the salts are associated with sea water. See, when this river meets the sea, this is the sea water, when it is meeting, then what happens? It contains the sodium chloride. It contains. When these are the colloidal particles with the river water. I told you this is the clay is carried along with the river water. It is negatively charged. This negatively charged particle, when it comes into contact with the sea water, that is the negatively charged of this colloidal particles of the river water are neutralized by the coagulation takes place. Neutralized by the positive charge of cations of the salts associated with river water. Therefore, what happens? Coagulation takes place. That is, when it come into contact, river water come into contact with the sea water, coagulation is taking place due to this phenomena. This clay is settled there, separated from the water. So therefore, what happens? Due to the accumulation of the clay there, that is what happens, the delta is formed. So where clay is the component of the delta. See, in the formation of the delta, the phenomena of colloidal systems is involved. And second one is the very fertile clay is it. And second one is the blue color of the sky. See, sky appears blue. See, sun emits all radiations, gamma radiations, X-rays, and ultraviolet radiation, visible radiation, 7 bands of the visible radiation, infrared radiation, microwave radiation and radio waves. All the electromagnetic radiations. All will emitted by this one. And our eye has the only capacity to perceive or accept see the visible radiation. That everything you know. See, where the electromagnetic radiation, the light coming from the sun enter into the atmosphere, the upper layers of the atmosphere, different components present in the atmosphere, they screen they eliminate the gamma radiation, X-rays. That is, the atmosphere protects us from the gamma radiation and the X-rays, etc. In the X-rays, and to the greater extent ultraviolet radiation also. Only the minor content of the ultraviolet radiation comes out. Only visible radiation reach to this one, and the infrared radiation also, that is carbon dioxide, H2O, those are all that is IR active, infrared active, they absorb that is infrared radiation and protect us. Only that is the 7 bands of the visible radiation enter into the atmosphere, reach the earth. So VIBGYOR enter into the only white light. Due to combination of the VIBGYOR, the white light is formed and eye recognizes it as the white light. Therefore, when that is the sky should, from the sun, white light is coming and reaching the eye, therefore sky should appear like white, but it looks like red. So in the lower class also you studied, I know it, and that is but when see the 7 bands of the lights that enter into the atmosphere, the around the earth, that is this atmosphere air, that is nitrogen, oxygen, different carbon dioxide, that is the small droplets of the water, and that is dust particles. All these things are associated. That is the dust particles and that is the H2O droplets, are small droplets of the H2O are considered as that is they have a nearly colloidal size. This is that is the air is now, it is a colloidal system which is surrounding the earth, the atmosphere. That is when this is the earth, this is surrounded by that is atmosphere. This is the atmosphere. When this white light enters, 7 bands enter into the atmosphere, what happens? They are the dust particles and that is the other thing, the water, small water droplets that are present in the system, that is atmosphere. They are in the colloidal size, they scatter the light. Tyndall effect. Scatter the light. See, in the light, only we consider the only 3 fundamental colors, even though VIBGYOR, that is red, green, and blue. See, by mixing these 3 colors, we can make all the shades. These are the fundamental colors. Eye only receives that is these 3 colors. That the other colors are due to the different mixing of these 3 colors, our eye perceives the different colors. See, and next thing is the scattering effect. Scatter, red, I am taking the red, green, blue. So this is the shorter wavelength, blue. Blue to green wavelength is increasing, green to red wavelength is increasing. See, the dirt particle, that is according to Rayleigh's, Rayleigh's relation, the scattering is, that is intensity of the scattering is inversely proportional to the 4th power of the wavelength of the light. 4th power of the wavelength, shorter the wavelength, the greater the intensity of the scattering. Intensity of the scattering is inversely proportional to what extent it is scattered, that depends on the wavelength. 4th power of the wavelength of the light. This is the shorter wavelength, this is the longer wavelength. So that is the scattering of the blue color is more, blue light is more, and that is green is moderate and less, and very less, red is very less. That is the dirt and water droplets which are present in the atmosphere, they scatter that is only blue color, not the green and red, the green and red color. So that is the most of the green and red bands that travel in the straight line without scattering, that is changing the direction, whereas only blue is very much scattered. That is, the white light is entering into the atmosphere. That white light, that is the dirt particles present in the atmosphere, they scatter the blue light to the greater extent. Therefore, that is from the sky, that is from the atmosphere, blue light is coming and reaching the eye. Therefore, that looks like blue. See, in the evening, that is during the sunset, it looks like sky looks like reddish brown, reddish yellow, or red or reddish yellow. So in that time we will be here. See, that is coming. This is blue, red, blue. That is green, blue, green, red, blue, red rays are coming and entering into the atmosphere. See, what happens? Blue is scattered. When it entered into this, it is scattered. It is not coming towards your side, scattered and falling down. This is coming, scattered. Whereas this tendency of the red light to scatter is very less. So it is transmitted, it is coming. So that is only transmitted light is, these are scattered. And you are here, whatever the light that reached to you is the color of the sky. Now what happens? You are, I have to put the one, the bigger one. And that is only red light without any deflection, without any scattering, it is coming, transmitted. Red is transmitted through the air, whereas these are deflected, that is scattered, not coming the side. Therefore, from the sun, which band is coming to you? That is red band is coming to you. Therefore, the sun, that is the sky looks red during the sunset, or small extent of green. Green and that is the red combination is the yellow combination, yellow color. So it looks like a yellowish red, reddish yellow color during the sunset. So this is the colloidal phenomenon. Next, the third one is the fog formation. I told you, see, this is the air contains that is small water droplets, water vapor is present in the atmosphere. When the temperature is decreased to the considerable extent, then what happens? The droplets of the air combine each other and convert into a particle of, that is a bigger droplet of which has a diameter of, that is a colloidal size. That is, fog is formed if the temperature of the atmosphere is decreased to the considerable extent. These H2O droplets combine each other to form the bigger droplets which can be seen by the naked eye. That is the rain, that cloud also, that is made up of the water droplets, colloidal system. Clouds are the colloidal system, liquid in air type system. So they are charged particles, that is and it's a colloidal system. And what happens in the bigger colloidal here, that is when the temperature is decreased, what happens? They combine each other and convert into the rain form. Clouds are converted into rain form. Or these are also charged. They may have some clouds may have the positive charge, some clouds may have the negative charge. When the clouds of the opposite charge combine each other, that is charge is neutralized, they combine, droplets are combined and converted to the bigger droplets and converted into that is the rain. So that is food, that is the rice is cooked. That is, the most of the food ingredients or food components are colloidal in nature. Whatever you take, the sweets or gulab jamun or that is a rice, cooked rice or cooked vegetables or whatever it is, that is a liquid in solid type. Cooked rice is nothing but that is liquid in solid type. That is a colloidal system which is known as the gel form. Your ice cream and everything is that the sweets and they are all common in the category of the colloidal systems. So that is the common colloidal phenomena around us in the daily life. The blood is a colloidal system. See, water is the dispersion medium, and that is blood cells are suspended. That is albumin. That is the RBC. The different biological cells are suspended in the water. So blood is a colloidal system, and soil. In the soil, this is the clay is associated. Some silicates are associated. Some special silicates are associated. So that is the fertility of the soil depends on the content of the clay. The clay has the tendency to absorb the moisture. When rain falls, that is the clay component of the soil, the absorbs the moisture and retains it. So even the surface is dry, inside there will be wet due to the clay associated with the soil. The fertility is direct, that is the fertility of the soil is proportional to the content of the water retaining tendency of the soil, that is the proportional to the content of the clay in the soil. So that is responsible for this one. These are the common the phenomena in everyday life. That's colloidal phenomena. Now if you come to the application part of the colloidal solutions, very simple. That is you know that colloids are the dispersal particles, colloidal particles are, that is and charged particles. And in total, colloidal system is electrically neutral. So first one is the Cottrell precipitator. See, in the furnace, anywhere in the industry, the coal is burnt or some other fuel is burnt. When fuel is burnt, the carbon containing the carbon comes out in the form of carbon dioxide, but the most of the carbon comes out. The smoke contains the carbon also. So there are waste gases that are coming out of the chimney, that is from the furnace, are called as the chimney gases or flue gases. Flue gases are chimney gases. The smoke contains when carbon is burnt, the smoke is formed. The smoke is a colloidal system, solid in gas type system, aerosol. Smoke is a solid in gas type system, and this smoke is negatively charged. See, if the smoke is allowed to enter into the atmosphere, that carbon is dispersed in the colloidal form in the air. The air is polluted, it causes the harm to the human beings. So what we have to do, the carbon to be eliminated from the smoke. That is the separation of the colloid dispersed phase from the dispersion medium is called as the coagulation. Coagulation process to be carried. I told you the smoke is negatively charged. Smoke particles or carbon particles are negatively charged. So that is and here how it is eliminated. That is, there is a procedure known as the Cottrell precipitation. Cottrell precipitator. Smoke is passed through the Cottrell precipitator. See here, the smoke coming. The smoke is coming out of the furnace. That is first sent into a chamber. This is the chamber. Smoke is coming. This is the here the electrode, charged electrode is used. See, if one is and dispersal phase is negatively charged, dispersion medium is positively charged. So that is by using the high potential, electric field is created. You know, electrophoresis. When the negative, positive and negative charges are this thing, the smoke, when once it enters into this, because of the charge on the plates, that is the smoke particles move towards the particular electrode. If they are negatively charged, they move towards the positively charged electrode. There they lose their charge. And if it is positively charged, that moves towards the negatively charged electrode, there it loses its charge. Therefore, what happens? That is the carbon content of the smoke that moves towards a particular electrode, there it loses the charge and coagulation takes place, precipitation takes place. That is, the carbon particles which are associated with the smoke remain in this room. That is only that is smoke without carbon comes out. That is, we are eliminating the carbon content of the carbon particles of the smoke, and we are protecting the environment from the pollution. This procedure is called as the Cottrell precipitation, Cottrell method of elimination of the carbon from the smoke. See, next one is the purification of the drinking water. So in the drinking water process, what is drinking water? This is surface water. Nowadays we are using the water from the bore. Normally that is the water, rain falls and that is surface water is collected in the lakes and all these things, and this is reservoirs. That is nothing but the colloidal system. So it is sedimentation takes place. If it is kept for the long time, what happens? Sedimentation takes place. That is, dirt particles are settled down. And now what we do? Purification of the drinking water. It contains the clay and the sand particles. These are the colloidal particles. Because of that sand and the dirt, it looks brown or reddish brown. So now what we do is, to this, I told you colloidal particles are the charged particles. Now what we do is, to this system, alum is added. Potash alum, K2SO4, double salt, Al2SO4 taken thrice, that is 24H2O. You know that this is the alum. It supplies the potassium ions, and this, that is particularly that contains this provides the K plus ion as well as the aluminium ion. So these are the electrolytes. Colloidal solutions can be coagulated by adding the electrolytes, you know. So here we are using the alum as electrolyte to eliminate the dirt particles, also colloidal particles associated with this one. This is drinking water. So drinking water is treated with the alum. When alum is added, coagulation of the dirt particles takes place, that settle at the bottom of this thing. The supernated liquid is used for the drinking purpose. That is free from the any dirt particles, or that is the clay particles. This is the purification of that is drinking water. Sewage water treatment. In the sewage disposal that contains the dirt, that is a colloidal system. The water which is flowing through through the colonies, through the nala, there is a colloidal system. The water carries a lot of dirt. They are in the colloidal state. So they are colloidal particles are the charged particles. So if they are not charged particles, then what happens? They combine aggregate each other to form the bigger lumps and separated. They are not separating, but they are charged particles. So that is the same principle is used. The sewage water is passed through between the charged plates. That is, when it is allowed to pass through the charged plates, then what happens? That because of the charge, colloidal particles move towards the particular electrode and coagulated. They remain in that machine or that's a place, and there is only water comes out. That is, the dirt associated with the sewage water is separated by using electric field. That is by passing between two electrodes which are where the high potential is applied. That is based on the charge on the colloidal particle, they move towards the particular electrode. There they lose the charge and coagulate and fall down there, separated from the water. So that is a sewage water treatment. That is tanning of the leather. The animal hides are colloidal systems. See, when it is removed from the animal body, it is very soft. So, to make it hard, that is tanning is carried. The process of conversion of the animal hides into the hard material, flexible and hard material is called as tanning of the leather. Durability is increased. The hardness is increased. What they do, these are the positively charged. That is the skin is positively charged. What they do, they treat it with the tanning. Tannin is used. Tannin is associated with that is some bark of the certain plants or certain trees contain the tannin. It is a plant material. Or you can use the tannic acid also. So that is the animal hides are treated with the tannin associated with that is bark. The bark is kept in the water. That is tannin comes out in that water. This is animal hide is kept. That is what happens. The neutralization takes place. Once it neutralized, that is what happens. The skin becomes the leather. It becomes the animal hide becomes the leather. That is it becomes hard and flexible. Hard. That process is called as the tanning process. It is the almost coagulation process. See, this principle is applied, colloidal principle is applied in the tanning of the leather, animal hides. That is cleansing action of the soap. This is we discussed already. The soap is used to eliminate the dirt associated with the clothes. So in that process, micelle formation takes place. The micelle formation is responsible for the cleansing action of the soap. That is a colloidal principle. This we already discussed. Right? Photographic plates. That is nowadays the photography is on the plastic plates. That is and cellulose plates. That is a coating is given. A special coating is given that acts as a photographic plate, or it can be also coated on the glass plates also. See, in the photography, silver bromide is the active component, photosensitive material. When light falls on this, the silver is converted into the elemental silver. Depending upon the intensity, the silver bromide is decomposed to elemental silver and bromine. See, the photographic plate should contain the silver bromide. It should be coated. Now what they do is, the silver bromide is mixed with the gelatin. You know, gelatin is a protective colloid. So that is, by mixing the silver bromide, the gel-like material is prepared. Semi-solidus material is prepared in the base of gelatin. This plate is coated with a thin coating of the silver bromide with gelatin is given on that is plastic plate, or that is a polymeric plate, or that is glass plate. This is used as a photographic plate. So in the photography, the colloidal principle is applied. In the rubber industry, rubber is extracted, rubber is prepared from rubber latex. That is the milk-like material collected from the rubber trees. By making the grooves on the stems of the rubber trees, that is the rubber milk or rubber latex can be collected. The latex contains the rubber hydrocarbon. In the rubber latex, the rubber hydrocarbon exists in the colloidal form. So that is in the preparation to that colloidal system, coagulation is carried. That is, to that some acid is added, electrolyte is added to the rubber milk, diluted rubber milk. Once the electrolyte is added, the rubber loses its hydrocarbon loses its charge, and coagulation aggregate each other and form the big rubber lump. So the rubber is isolated, hydrocarbon is isolated from the the colloidal solution, that is rubber latex, by adding that is electrolyte like acetic acid. So now that's a lump which is formed, right, it is pressed by using the rollers or creepy rollers, that a sheet-like material is formed. That is called as the creep rubber. So therefore anyhow, that is in the rubber industry, coagulation principle is applied. Rubber is isolated from that is rubber latex by using a colloidal principle. In the making of the many medicines are in the colloidal state. That is more common one is gelacil, diazine. These are all the colloidal systems. That is as the colloidal, that is due to the colloidal nature, what happens, the surface area, small particle, surface area is more, so easily it is absorbed into the body. So that is in the medicine chemistry also, that is the colloids are used. These are the important application parts of that is few applications of the colloids in the, that is industries and the other places.